Hello, I'm Joshykins, and welcome to another episode of The Raven Speaks. And sorry for the little bit of a delay. I can't remember what happened the week before, but last week I was doing some lines for someone else. Two other projects, very small lines, so couldn't do it last week. And my Aragon review, not Aragon review, my Aragon dramatic reading won't be done today because last night I had really bad acid reflux, most likely because of a lot of garlic I consumed. So I'm white. I I basically burn up in the sun. I can't spend that too long outside. And garlic makes me sick, so obviously I am a vampire, so I will be doing this YouTube channel for a long time. Sheesh. But also, before I begin, if I seem to be tilting my head this way, I'm using two screens. And this is the first time I'm doing The Raven Speaks with this camera, and so I have the script, and the camera on the screen in front of me, and then I have the window where all this is actually open on that side. So it might take like a few episodes for me to get actually used to this because I like looking at myself. Also, finally, before I begin, I know this topic might, like just by the title alone, might anger some people, so I got some things. If any of you start watching live and you start being little trolls, I will cleanse. Little feather and some spray sage. I can't actually burn sage. I can't actually burn anything in this house, which really sucks. So sorry for the long opening explanations. And let's get on to this actually very short video. Okay, for everyone who is confused about what The Raven Speaks is, The Raven Speaks is a series of usually weekly videos about a variety of subjects. Feel free to comment below to suggest a topic for a future episode. It doesn't have to be Game of Thrones, it can be Animorphs, or maybe Animorphs or something, some topical thing going on. And I would love if one day this series was just all fan submissions. Like every episode would be something a viewer like you asked me. So, comment below. Anyways, I know that shipping Jorah Mormont and Daenerys Targaryen, also known as either Jorlesi or Jornaris. I don't use the second one because that's so close to Daenerys and I do not want to make a typo. Is not popular, hence the sage. In fact, some Game of Thrones fans go into a rage even thinking about the couple for a second. Most will come up with various reasons why the couple doesn't make sense in canon, while ignoring the rules when supporting a ship they do like. Now, this isn't going to be a happy video about how Jorah and Dany were having a secret love affair, a la my fix, A Marriage of Convenience, or the first chapter of The Last Mormont, but a darker love story, because I just love my angst. Part 1. Jorah went out like a badass. The Long Night was not a good episode. It pointed out everything wrong in Season 8 and was a clear sign to me to not be invested in the show any longer. One thing the episode highlighted was how some characters had extreme plot armor and others had unsatisfying deaths. Though honestly, after watching this episode, I couldn't imagine that Cersei would have such a disappointing death that she died by a brick. Theon Greyjoy had a good death, If you didn't think about it for more than a few seconds, he could have waited 2 seconds and not have died. Bran could have warned him, but that little cripple is evil. But that's a topic for another day. Anyways, Jorah Mormont had the best death in the entire episode. He had emotional closure by dying protecting Daenerys and getting to see her one last time before he died. He also got to show his strength before dying. Arya Stark might say, "Not today," to the god of death, but she also had the strongest plot armor in season 8. I mean, seriously, she survived King's Landing. It's like, fuck. Jorah didn't. Jorah didn't have that strong plot armor. Yet Jorah was able to tell the god of death, just 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes, that's okay. Just got to stop. I got to finish this up. Just 5 more minutes, okay? Then just 5 more minutes. I'm doing something. As the man would not breathe his last breath until Daenerys was safe. Part 2. Jorah died in Daenerys' arms. Jorah died in Daenerys' arms. Emilia even said she didn't really have to act during that scene. Those emotions were just so fresh in her mind when thinking about Ian dying. I have seen people comparing Jon holding Ygritte's corpse and Daenerys holding Jorah's corpse. I must say that both instances seem extremely similar. This would mean then the scene was supposed to evoke the sensation that Daenerys loved Jorah and was more than devastated about losing him. Part 3. Even Drogon mourned Jorah. One of the saddest moments of Jorah's death was Drogon coming to mourn him. My heart was already dust, and then that shit happened. When the show hits the right emotional points, it does so extremely well. Drogon is not just a dragon. He has been shown to respond to Daenerys' thoughts. He came to rescue her in Meereen and later agreed to be by her side once again. He is not just a dragon. He is a part of Daenerys' soul. So when Drogon mourns Jorah's death, it is showing how deeply Daenerys loves the man, how much the loss of him will mean to her. Sorry. I want to make sure my voice doesn't go. Anyway, part 4. Emilia admitted Jorah was canon. Emilia Clarke and Ian Glenn have both made remarks showing their support for Jorah and Daenerys to get together over the years. In the behind-the-scenes segment for The Long Night, Emilia said that when Daenerys looked at Jorah's dying form, she was seeing all that could have been. I'm sure with the outburst of emotion and similar pose to when Ygritte died in Jon's arms, that Daenerys was thinking what a great platonic friend he would have been in the future. Nope. Daenerys suddenly realized how much she loved Jorah as he lay dying. She realized exactly what he meant to her the moment he died. And that is the angsty shit I live for. Yeah, Daenerys had some angsty stuff happen in season 8, but nothing like Jorah. Our ship sailed and sunk in the same moment. Beat that shit. This makes Daenerys' line to Jon in the following episode maddening. There are 2 reasons she said she didn't love Jorah. 1, she was lying in an attempt to keep her control over Jon. 2, Emilia and D&D weren't on the same page, as she had to convince others to let Daenerys fight and not stand idly by as Jorah risked his life for hers. I think this reason is solid. She had an opinion about her character that she couldn't express. And D&D forgot about proper storytelling in Season 8. I love Daenerys going mad, but it needed to be set up more properly. There's so many instances that they forgot storytelling. But this is not that. This is not going to be about that. So comment below and tell me, one, do you agree with my theory that Daenerys and Jorah, Jorah was and is canon? Why not? What about all the proof I've shown? Comment down below, and I'm going to guess a bunch of you are like, no, Jorah isn't canon. That piece of trash can never be canon. Now I'm going to react with the anger of 1,000 suns, because how dare someone like this thing? I mean, seriously, I've been like, I think at one point I was told I should be like on a sexual predator list or something for this, and it's like, wow, there's good shippers and there's toxic shippers. I do not mind Daenerys shippers. Just the toxicity of some of you guys is like, you need to calm down. This is just a show. This is just a show. But so yeah, give me your opinions on my theory about Jorah being canon. And also comment below on what you'd like me to cover next in The Raven Speaks, and I will try my best to get an episode out next week and start doing these regularly again. And if I do not get a video out next week, it will most likely because Dorian is heading my way. So please like this video, subscribe so you never miss another episode of The Raven Speaks. And if you're watching this on my blog and watching on the desktop version of my blog, please choose the follow by email option so you never miss anything of mine ever again. This is so odd looking at the screen. Yeah. And okay, so bye. I'm sure when I check the comments section, tomorrow, there'll be like people losing their shits. So until next video. Let me look at the camera. That'd be a good idea. And until next video, bye. In stream. Okay, I'm going to do end. I'm going to click end there, and I'm going to wave at the camera.